In this video, we are going to talk about the other player that Kaizer Chiefs wants to sign from Stellenbosch FC. And we're also going to talk about the secret deals that Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch FC are making that you didn't know of. We're also going to talk about Fleurs and what is actually happening with him. Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Amakosi Football Club. Let's start with Kobamelo Sibande, who is apparently being monitored by Kaizer Chiefs. Who is Kobamelo Sibande? He's a 23-year-old who's currently playing for Stellenbosch FC. And he can play as a defensive midfielder, a left back, and a left midfielder. Now, you can clearly see why this makes sense for Kaizer Chiefs to monitor such a player, because he's a utility player. In that sense, he looks like someone who is ideal for modern football. We've seen that with most teams, they try to find a player who doesn't just play one position, but they can feature in multiple positions without feeling like they've been changed and they're not playing their original and natural position anymore. So Kaizer Chiefs are monitoring him, and obviously people have started talking things like, hey, Kaizer Chiefs are busy talking about Sundowns weakening other teams, because that's a conversation that we should have at some point. Where do we draw the line between having a good relationship with the team, they sell players to us, we give them money, and weakening them? Because in the past 2-3 years, Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch, it's not been like number 2 or number 1 in Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch being number 10 or number 13. But Stellenbosch has been very close to Kaizer Chiefs. So it does seem like we are rivalries of sorts, yet we are just exchanging players like that, which I don't think, as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, yes, it's great that our team gets the best players who have been developed, but then you're thinking in terms of South African football as well, because I don't just like Kaizer Chiefs, but I love football. Then I was introduced to Kaizer Chiefs. So in a sense of football, sometimes you ask yourself, where do we actually draw the line? But I also want to hear from you before we move to the next story. What do you actually think about this thing? Where do we draw the line between having a good relationship with the team and, on the other hand, just weakening the team? Let me know down on the comment section. On to the next story, in a form of Darryl Macheke, another player who came from development of Kaizer Chiefs and has been Kaizer Chiefs player for a very long time, and he's been going in and going out of Kaizer Chiefs on loan. And at some point, I thought he was going to be our solution to the defensive midfield issues. But now he's training with Stellenbosch. And I'm going to smile, because it seems to me like Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch have come to an agreement that we are going to give you our players for free. And we are going to buy players from you for some money. Maybe it's lowered from what it would have been initially. What makes me say this? It's simple. Because remember with Unange was at Stellenbosch before he came to Chiefs, but there were rumors that he had been signed by Chiefs before going to Stellenbosch, and then the very following season he comes to Kaizer Chiefs. Now, the same thing with Sekgotha. Sekgotha gets released by Kaizer Chiefs, but like 24 hours later, Stellenbosch confirmed that he's their player. Darryl Macheke at Kaizer Chiefs, he leaves Kaizer Chiefs, and then he's training with Stellenbosch. Then Kaizer Chiefs signs Mthetho. I am not saying there's something there, but I'm thinking there's something there. I'm not saying that because I don't understand why they wouldn't just make these things part of a deal, like saying, oh, here is Darryl Macheke, we're adding him as part of the deal plus the money that we're paying and Sekgotha. I don't know why that wouldn't be an easier thing to do, because it seems like they're making deals, but they're not actually making deals. Anyways, I'll also let you comment and tell me if you see what I'm seeing, or is it just me who's seeing things. Which brings us to the next story of Fleurs. Fleurs has been training with Kaizer Chiefs. We know this. What we also know is that 70% of people who watch this channel are not subscribed. That is not right. So please take this moment and subscribe to the channel before we continue the story. Thank you for subscribing. Now, Fleurs' agent has come out and confirmed that yes, the boy is training with Kaizer Chiefs, but there is no rush in him signing for Kaizer Chiefs because he's a free agent. But before you click off the video, here's what's happening. AmaZulu have entered the race to sign Luke Fleurs because they see that Kaizer Chiefs, well, they are still assessing him. This was confirmed by Far Post as well. They reported this, and also Sokala Duma reported this. So I find that interesting because I've seen a lot of players, or a few players, actually choosing AmaZulu over Kaizer Chiefs when we did not make our move quick enough. So I don't know what is going on there, because I listened to Nsegi talking about Luke Fleurs, and he said that, oh yeah, I've worked with Luke Fleurs under 17 level when he was 16. So he clearly knows the player, but he's still wanting to assess him. And once again, I will not like sit here and say, hey, just sign the player. It's like, no, he has to be sure that the player that he's signing is a good player, because the last thing we want is for a player to sign for the Chiefs and then next season he gets released. So the strategy that they're taking, I'm all for it. Assess him until you are satisfied with him, and then we can take it from there. What do you think about Luke Fleurs and everything that I talked about? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoya.